Well, I'm just so proud of our guys. I mean, we didn't end the regular season the way we wanted to. Everybody knows that. But that does not take away from the body of work. The body of work was incredible. 12-2 at home. So you want to protect home ice, and if you do, you're going to give yourself a chance to do some really good things. And that's what we did. 12-2 on home ice, and then we went 500 on the road. And with our difficulty of schedule, amount that we traveled, with back-to-back trips in some instances to the East Coast, to go 500 on the road is a tremendous accomplishment. It really is. And had we gone up to Minnesota and played better, we would have been over 500. And so we dropped 2 to fall to 500. And generally, when you go 12-2 at home and you go 500 on the road and you play a good schedule like we did, the result is going to be you're going to be ranked where we're ranked, and we love where we're at right now. I mean, we had 6 guys that didn't practice last week. So we didn't have a practice, and we had the week off before. So we tried to eliminate all the excuses that we could, and the cards were just stacked against us. And with Johnny getting hurt and guys just not at full speed, we got delayed going up there. We didn't practice on the sheet on Thursday night, so it was the first time we touched Olympic ice was Friday. And we're not built for it. It's a different game, and that team is really good. They're really good. They're playing great. They just swept Ohio State. They just beat Notre Dame. They still have a lot to play for going to their Big Ten tournament, and they handed us 2 tough losses. They beat us. They were just better. So we got to watch it and move on and focus on bigger and better. Well, this week's done. So we gave the guys pretty much the entire week to go refresh and recharge their batteries, mostly mentally. Do a lot of treatment on campus and with our medical staff and get some bumps and bruises cleaned up and healed up. And then next week we'll start to kind of layer back on the foundation and get them competing and doing some skill stuff. And then the following week, a lot of detail, almost like a mini training camp. We're using this time off to our advantage. A lot of people want to overblow it and talk about how it's a disadvantage. We don't see it that way. We don't see it that way at all. We're going to be healthy. We're going to be rested. We're going to be focused. And most importantly, our guys are going to really have the details in tune going into the biggest game of their careers. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, he took a 2-hand right across the face. It was so severe that this face mask literally dented in over an inch and fractured his nose, and he was bleeding like a stuck pig. He didn't miss a shift. And it is what it is. I don't know. I'm not going to chastise, their program because of one play. I think it is what it is, and he got up, and that's what we tell our guys to do. They get hit, whether it's clean, dirty, or indifferent, get up and play. And that's what our guys do. And that's what Crow did. As far as the knees go, I think there was 3 of them called, which I've never seen before, and I can understand why on paper and people on the outside looking in, they would raise eyebrows to that. One was a good call, but the one against Croston, that I think that kid got hurt on, and we never like to see that. It's unfortunate that he got hurt. It wasn't neat. It wasn't. I mean, when a player that commits to a check is going full speed into the boards, and he commits to that check, the opposing player has 2 choices. He can absorb the hit, or he can get completely out of the way. In both of the cases against the wall, their player, unfortunately, only got out of the way with his upper extremity. So if a guy's committed to that check 5 feet from it, going full speed, there's naturally going to be some contact with the legs, right? It's just going to happen. It doesn't mean that our guy stuck out his knee and tried to injure him. That did not happen. That did not happen. Anthony Crossan doesn't play that way. Dylan Holman doesn't play that way. And one of those put us down 5-on-3 for 2 minutes, and still a winnable game on Friday, down 3-1 with 13 minutes left. So we didn't like those calls. Are we incredibly sorry that the kid got hurt on Crows? Absolutely. That wasn't the intent. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. But they weren't. They weren't knees. I thought they were bad calls, and it was unfortunate. Preseason, I knew we had a good team. I knew we were going to win some games. We play hard. We play with a chip. We're physical. That's our identity. We're not dirty, but we play hard. And we, like the other 59 teams, should be held accountable in some form or fashion for supplemental discipline. We didn't have to do that. There's nothing that said we had to do it. We hadn't done it before this year, but I wanted us to be on the same playing field as everybody else. And if our guys make a mistake, they have to be held accountable. We don't want to police ourselves. That's not fair. That's not the right way to do things. So we chose to form a relationship with the great people at the WCHA and put our players' fate when supplemental discipline needs to happen in their hands, and agreed to abide by whatever they decide. And they decided what they decided, and we're going to honor it. Just this season, yeah. I mean, we had to. You know, I mean, if we hadn't, you know, then we'd be viewed as a renegade and just kind of on our own page. And we're an independent. You know, we're an independent, and we should have to be held to the same standards from a supplemental discipline standpoint as the other 59 teams. I won't comment on what I think or it doesn't think is fair. I don't think is fair. What I will say is that Jacob Wilson is an unbelievable kid. He doesn't deserve all the crap that he's gotten from people up there. He's a 4.0 student. He's clean. He doesn't take dirty penalties. He's never taken a selfish or retaliatory penalty in 2 years here. He's a captain in Sioux City for a reason and almost led them to a championship. And he made a mistake on Saturday, and he's paying the price. Okay, he's paying the price. He's serving his time, and there's no greater, steeper penalty, I think, than having to sit out and watch your team play in 2 tournament games. Enough of people giving that kid crap. He's serving his time, and I think that's all that really needs to be said about it.
Well, how's the team approaching his?
Well, he's one of the most revered and loved kids in that room, and respected kids in that room, and he's a future captain of this program, and so they're gonna rally. They're gonna rally for him and around him, and I know how his teammates feel about it and how they feel about him, and so we're gonna try and use this to our advantage. And I think that knowing our guys, they will. We love our core. D core is good. You know, I mean, when you have Jacob Stridsberg as a senior to step in and take over in that spot, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot. When that happened on Saturday, we started playing our best hockey after that and got back into the game. And Strider stepped right in for Willie and played great. So I know Strider will deliver, and he's excited for the opportunity, and you know, next man up.